Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors, a podcast that keeps HR pros, business leaders, and operations teams ahead of the curve. We're sponsored by our friends at WorkHuman. My name is Steve Boese. 400,000 jobs need to be filled to close the manufacturing workforce gap. Today, we're taking another look at an issue we've covered a few times this year on the Workplace Minute: the wide gap between open manufacturing jobs in the U.S. and the pool of qualified, available, and willing workers to fill them, and how grand plans to revive American manufacturing are running into the persistent challenges of labor force and demographic realities. The pool of workers who are able and willing to perform tasks on a factory floor in the United States is shrinking. As baby boomers retire, fewer young people are stepping up to take their place. About 400,000 manufacturing jobs are currently unfilled, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a gap that will surely increase if companies are forced to rely less on manufacturing overseas and are compelled to build more factories and capacity here in the United States. Difficulty attracting and retaining qualified workers has been consistently cited as a top primary challenge by American manufacturers since 2017, according to the National Association of Manufacturers, which produces a quarterly survey of their corporate members. Only recently have workforce issues dropped on the list of challenges, superseded by trade-related uncertainties and increased raw material costs due to tariffs. The scarcity of skilled blue-collar workers remains a long-term problem for manufacturers. For many decades, young people have been encouraged to pursue four-year college degrees and have been convinced by educators and parents that professional and white-collar work was to be strived for, and that jobs in factories or in the skilled trades were somehow not as desirable or personally satisfying. This has led to a hollowing out of qualified workers for many manufacturing jobs. As boomers and Gen X move out of these roles, there are far fewer younger workers stepping up to replace them. In addition to demographic challenges, manufacturing companies face other obstacles in their pursuit of skilled workers. The current administration's crackdown on immigration, which includes attempts to revoke deportation protections for many migrants from certain countries, may eliminate workers who could have filled those jobs. And quite frankly, many Americans simply aren't interested in factory jobs because they often do not pay enough to lure them away from service industry jobs that may have more flexible schedules or more comfortable working environments. Additionally, for some manufacturers, remaining globally competitive involves the use of very sophisticated equipment that requires employees to have extensive training and familiarity with specific types of software, placing even more barriers to finding the skilled workers they need to operate. Meanwhile, due to a major slowdown in hiring in technology, finance, and other professional sectors, as well as the rapid rise of AI and other automation technology, there's fast becoming a glut of recent college graduates who can't find jobs that match their education. And at the same time, there are not enough skilled blue-collar workers to fill the positions that currently exist, let alone the jobs that will be created if more factories are built in the United States. Recently, Dave Gitlin, the CEO of Carrier Global, a company that produces air conditioners and furnaces and services heating and cooling equipment, described the situation in his industry. With the rise of artificial intelligence, Gitlin said that demand has exploded for technicians to serve as data centers, which are built with cooling systems called chillers. He estimated that each data center would require 4 technicians to maintain one single chiller. We have 425,000 technicians today, he said, referring to the overall heating and air conditioning industry. We are going to need to hire another 400,000 to 500,000 more over the next 10 years. But the number of young people going to vocational schools and community colleges, where many of these skills are taught, is actually dropping and not growing. So what are manufacturer leaders going to try to do to close the talent gap and fill those hundreds of thousands of open roles? There's no single solution. There are some promising strategies that are gaining some traction around the country. First, companies are doubling down on earn and learn apprenticeship programs. These programs allow workers, often young people or career switchers, to gain hands-on experience while earning a paycheck, often with a clear path to full-time employment. For example, Toyota's Advanced Manufacturing Technician program, run in partnership with community colleges, combines classroom instruction with paid factory work, giving students both credentials and real-world skills. And it's become a national model, helping to build a reliable talent pipeline for the future. Second, manufacturers are getting creative with reskilling and upskilling initiatives to unlock talent from outside traditional backgrounds. Examples include the Restart program by Bosch in South Carolina, which trains military veterans and displaced workers for high-tech manufacturing roles. With modern factories relying heavily on automation and robotics, many roles today require more tech savvy than heavy lifting, and companies are investing in training to help workers grow into those positions. And third, some employers are turning to second chance hiring programs, giving opportunities to individuals with criminal records. It's not only a socially responsible approach, but a strategic one too. Nehemiah Manufacturing in Cincinnati, for example, has built its entire workforce strategy around hiring returning citizens, people who were previously incarcerated, and has seen lower turnover and higher loyalty as a result. These strategies all show that when manufacturers meet workers where they are, by offering real development paths, reducing barriers, and rethinking who's considered qualified, they're not just filling jobs, they're also building stronger, more inclusive, and more future-ready workforces. And for HR and business leaders, here's the true call to action. The manufacturing workforce challenge isn't going away on its own. It's time to be bold, to partner with schools, to invest in people, and to reimagine talent in all its forms. The companies that act now, creatively and inclusively, will be the ones best positioned to thrive in the next era of American manufacturing. That's all for today's Workplace Minute. Want more on the future of work, talent, and technology? Be sure to hit follow or subscribe and share this episode with a colleague who cares about getting the workplace right. And we will continue to follow this and all the important topics and trends in the world of work here on the HR Happy Hour Media Network. This has been Steve Boese for the Workplace Minute, powered by H3 HR Advisors.